All right, let's talk about a specific example of an author using ethos to back up their case. This example, Nancy Mears uses her experience with the subject matter in order to provoke and invoke a strong sense of credibility within the reader. So she talks about her uncertainty and her own motives and shows kind of how she understands the discomfort others may have with the subject in order to kind of push herself as somebody who should be believed. So this is the example. First, the matter of semantics. I am a cripple. I choose this word to name me. I choose from among several possibilities, the most common of which are handicapped and disabled. I made the choice a number of years ago without thinking, unaware of my motives for doing so. Even now, I'm not sure that what those motives are, but I recognize that they are complex and not entirely flattering. Uh, People, crippled or not, wince at the word cripple as they do not at handicapped or disabled. Perhaps I want them to wince. I want them to see me as one tough customer, one to whom the fates, gods, viruses have not been kind, but who can face the brutal truth of her existence squarely. As a cripple, I swagger. Maris does a great job here of kind of promoting herself as a source on this, which can be trusted, being as she is a cripple herself. And I'm having read the rest of the piece, she does a masterful job of getting the reader to take up and believe her side. Next, let's go ahead and talk about an example of pathos. This is a speech used by Winston Churchill where he used anaphora, which is the repetition of words or a group of words in a beginning of item at the beginning of items in a series in order to help make a kind of a impression. The repetition of these words and the choices of words makes a definite strong impression upon the reader and has a very strong emotional effect. So let's read that. We shall not flag or fell. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. All right, the use of very strong words and repetition here really helps. So we shall fight, we shall fight, we shall, we shall, we shall. Definitely would have been key in helping convince the government to participate in battle in World War II there. So, and let's go ahead and scroll on. Just as a quick review, logos happens in the head. It's simple as the head, and it's a logic-based argument. Okay. When we use logic, we appeal to the reader's sense of what makes sense. Ethos is an ethics-based argument wherein we say, hey, I'm believable, thus you should believe my argument. Um, and then pathos is an argument based on emotions, and that is not sufficient enough to prove anything, but it's definitely helpful when combined with the other two appeals. Using pathos means that we appeal to the reader's emotions and feelings. Let's go ahead and move on now. Your notebook assignment is for the next 18 slides to identify what specific appeals are they using. Are they using logos, ethos, or pathos, or are they using some combination of them? And identify those. Let's look at this first one. Here it has a young man. It looks like he's woken up at a sleepover with his friends around him in a sleeping bag. The text says for him there's nothing worse than waking up cold, wet, and alone, except waking up cold, wet, and surrounded by friends. And this is an advertisement for Good Nights, which is basically a training pull-up type of diaper that is to be worn at night. So I think if you identified pathos as the main appeal they're using here, I think you'd be right. Obviously, no parent wants their child to go through that embarrassment, and no child wants to go through that embarrassment either. I'll invite you to go ahead and do the rest on your own. There are 17 more. Good luck with that, and have a great day.